Now, even though the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF SCHD is not necessarily as popular and definitely does not have the hype that it used to have in the dividend investing community, and probably for good reason, I still have to make a video about the ETF for a few specific reasons, a few being the fact that this ETF is about to go ex-dividend date on December 10th and pay its next quarterly dividend. And on top of that, this ETF is still one of my largest positions in my long-term portfolio. I think I currently have around 2,600 shares of it. So in this video, I want to share with you guys why I still am bullish on this ETF and why I potentially think it could be a great time to buy. If, of course, you're a long-term investor, not a day trader, not a swing trader, I'm talking about a long-term investment. We're going to talk about this ETF in detail. I'm going to share with you guys everything you need to know about it if you're potentially new to it, and of course, all the numbers included, backtesting this ETF historically, and everything else. So if this sort of thing interests you at all, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. My A to Z dividend investing ebook has already helped countless dividend investors get started with their journey. And my custom dividend tracker, the one I use all the time on my videos, has also helped so many investors stay organized and has actually helped them see their dividend income grow. Well, today I have something even better for you guys. When you click the first link down below in my description and you grab my A to Z dividend investing ebook, today you're not only going to get the ebook, but you're also going to be getting the custom dividend tracker, which you can use to track your own dividend income ongoingly. Get direct access to my personal email where you guys can email me any questions regarding dividend investing. You're also going to receive a link to view all of my holdings inside my 7-figure dividend portfolio and see all the positions I add and take away ongoingly. And you're going to get for absolutely free my brand new high yield dividend investing ebook where I show you the power of maximizing some of these high yielding ETFs and teach you everything there is to know about that also. This is going to be your one shot to grab everything inside of one single bundle, but you got to move quick because I'm not going to offer this for long. Now with all that, let's get back into the video. Now first off, the ETF's objective, the fund's goal is to track as closely as possible before fees and expenses the total return of the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index. I've shared this image on the channel in the past, but this is the main reasons I'm bullish on this ETF. Maybe you guys agree, maybe you guys disagree. Let me know in the comments, of course, but I like SCHD because there's no capped upside. There's no cover call overlay, which probably would have been handy over the last year or so because this ETF is traded more or less sideways, but there is no capped upside, which means there is the potential for growth in the future. There's huge dividend growth historically, around 10%, 11% dividend growth rate. There's a long track record. The ETF has been trading for around 14 years. It's super cheap to own with a 0.06% expense ratio, a strong methodology that historically has worked pretty good, great diversification, around 100 different stocks inside of one ETF, lots of upside growth potential, tax-friendly, and sleep well in the ETF. Now comment down below anything else that SCHD might have going for it in your honest opinion. Now let's first talk about the bad when it comes to this ETF. Like I mentioned earlier, it's basically traded sideways as far as price performance goes over the year-to-date time frame, which is very disappointing considering over this time frame, lots of different stocks, lots of different ETFs have grown like crazy. Now as a side note, that's why this ETF, for me personally, would never make up my entire portfolio. I know some people out there that just buy SCHD, which I think that's absolutely crazy. My portfolio is probably over diversified, but I absolutely love the fact that I have a little bit of everything across the market. Now, historically speaking, SCHD's price performance has been very, very impressive. Since 2011, this ETF has grown consistently over time, but I will say recently the growth has slowed down a little bit. Now, the real magic with this ETF is, of course, the fact that it offers around a 3.75% trailing 12-month yield, and at least historically speaking, is offered around 10 or 11% in dividend growth rate. Now, a lot of investors are saying that SCHD's dividend growth is going to come to a slowdown here, which I do potentially agree with that. I think we're probably likely to see 4%, 6% dividend growth in the future, which again is why this ETF is not my only single holding across my portfolio. Now, the next dividend payout coming up really soon here, I think is going to really make or break this ETF as far as the community sentiment, because the community sentiment has been pretty low. And trust me, I know the community pretty well. Now, that being said, last December's dividend was around 26 cents per share. So even if we get something like 27, 28, I mean, hopefully 30 cents per share, that would be a decent amount of dividend increase and hopefully make the community happy. Now, let's say SCHD does pay around 28 cents per share, which is coming up again. I'm going to receive around $728 in dividends from my around 2,600 shares of this ETF. Now, again, a lot of investors that have been criticizing this ETF like crazy as of recent because its lack of performance. It's really cliche to say to them, but you really do have to zoom out. This ETF has performed very well over the max time frame, offering investors around a 414% total return and around 12.5% per year on average. So if this ETF in theory could pull out a nice amount of dividend growth over the next few quarters and slowly start inching closer and closer to $30 per share, speaking for myself at least, I'd be more than happy to hold on to something like this. Now, to be fully transparent, like I mentioned in previous videos, I did slow down down my daily buying of this ETF, which I used to buy multiple shares of every single day the market's open, which got me to that 2,600 share goal. As of recently, I'm just buying around 10-20 bucks of SCHD here and there in one of my smaller portfolios, but I am still stacking more and more shares on a monthly basis. So is this ETF offering a potential buying opportunity for long-term dividend investors? I still think it potentially is. I mean, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm still buying more and more of it for my portfolio. And again, I know it's kind of corny. I know it's kind of cliche, but investors really just have to zoom out and ask yourself, what could this look like in the next 10-20 years? Now, that being said, there's so many other high income ETFs and dividend growth ETFs that are also amazing and will likely also perform very well over the next several decades. So I'm going to keep diversifying my portfolio, buying SCHD, but buying tons of other names on top of that. But before I go, I do have a question for you guys down below. Do you think SCHD is offering a potential buying opportunity for long-term investors? Are you buying, selling, or holding? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like in it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.